Don, was it 1964 when you cracked America?
Quite literally, yeah. I mean, what happened was our manager, Ryan Spermstain, he was always, throwing these Tupperware parties, and he was forever playing the soundtrack to West Side Story, and I just got sick of it, and I took it off the turntable and threw it, and it cracked on the fourth track, which I believe was America, and it didn't please him too much,
No, I mean when you conquered America.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was the Ned Gullivan show. Yeah.
Right now, we have something special. Now, everybody that works with me here in the studio agrees with me that nobody has ever experienced the type of excitement that's been stirred up by these young boys who come from out of school in England who call themselves the Doos. And tonight, right now, we're going to be entertained by it. Right now, here's the Doos singing a song called Love Speaks Louder Than Words. The Doos, ladies and gentlemen, yeah!
And there was a power cut, just as we hit the first note, and we weren't seen by anyone. We had the lowest viewing figures in the history of American television, but we carried on, regardless.
Talk about truth, talk about fear, trying to talk your way out of here. Keep on talking, baby, love speaks louder than words. 'Cause it's a matter of pain, it's a matter of pride, matter of picking out truth from lies. Matter of fact, love speaks louder than words. But I do remember our manager, Ryan Spermstain, standing at the side of the stage watching us. And he always had a box of Kleenex tissues with him. I think that must have been to hand out to the teenage girls who were crying all the time. And he was one of us, Well, he wasn't one of us, he was one of them, but you know what I mean. Our first album in the States, Meet the Doos, that went AWOL. No one was interested at all. But the first song I ever wrote was on that particular album, Little Foolish You. Then we released our first album, which was called Something Do. And that was our first album, that couldn't be played on the radio.
Why was that, Don?
Well, they forgot to put a hole in the middle of it, Crazy. But eventually, when they put the hole in the middle, that's when they played it, and that's when we had our first number one. Here I am, still sitting, singing songs about you. Though it's been 2 months or more since goodbye you. There's a reason why I do this, it's a good one, yes it is. Things are hard without you, baby. Oh, I miss you, miss you, miss you. Do you know what you mean to me? Do you understand the ground? I am helpless as you can. Do you know what you mean to me?
And then we did a Hard Do's Night, which was the soundtrack to the film of the album of the same name as the single. Hang on.
And that was written on the back of a cigarette packet, the whole album, Hence the title, Smoking Kills. And I played some fab maracas on that particular album. I seem to remember that. With
with your ocean smile, you're letting me know. Though we're far apart, I'm never alone. And in my thoughts I see you smile back at me. That way, that way.
And then we did another film called Yelp, another album called Rubber Doos. And then along came Duvalva. Do.
And wasn't there a certain amount of controversy surrounding that album, Don?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just because I happened to say, that I thought, that, we were bigger than a certain dairy product, Yap, yap.
Are you sorry for what you've said?
Well, originally, I was pointing out that fact in reference to England, that we meant more to kids than cheeses or any other dairy product. I wasn't saying we were better or greater or comparing us with a nice red Leicester, or a creamy Wensleydale, I just said what I said and it was wrong, or it was taken wrong, and now it's all this, But, I was always looking for new ideas and new experiences, and that's when I wrote the silent one for the Sergeant Nutter's Phony Parts Club album. And
Yes, was that inspired by the Babysitter, George?
No, the Babysitter had nothing to do with it, It was a song about flatulence, if you really want to know.
Each of us was sent here for a special destiny. Your talent is your gift to the world. One shall do the suffering while the others shall have fun. When you pose your big questions, I'll be the silent one. I am the guitar player in a rocky band, was trying to keep us sheltered from the sun. I am going with it, for I will become outdone. Maybe that is why they call me the silent one. Oh, call me the silent one.
I foolishly admitted to the press that I'd taken margarine. What a mistake that was.
How many times have you taken margarine?
About 4 times,
Where did you get it from?
Well, I can't tell you that, can I? I can't tell you where I got it from, because it's advertising,
Don't you think you should have kept it quiet?
But I'd be quite prepared, just not to let this go any further, if you don't. I don't want to spread margarine. I won't spread it if you don't spread it. But I can guarantee that right now you probably are spreading it.
And yet we still came up with great music.
Forget all the things that you know. Relax and go with the flow. It's easy, Oh yeah.
You then wrote The Walrus and the Carpenter from the Blistery Salt album. Was that written under the influence of something, Don?
No, it was written after I'd seen a documentary about Richard Carpenter, and he just adopted a walrus, and that was it, plain and simple,
Walked along the ocean tide, the carpenter that by my side when we spied on the ground. The oysters on the ground.
then in 1968 we made the Shite album. You know, which was shite. And it was around this time that I felt like we were just drifting apart, you know, and Don had met Coco, the clown. And he'd fallen in love with her, you know, and he used to bring her to recording sessions. And she'd sit there, you know, making dogs out of balloons, which was kind of infuriating, you know, especially when you were trying to sing and all you could hear was all this business.
Yeah, but by 1969, you know, it was all winding down. You know, our manager, you know, Ryan Spermstain, he'd had enough. And he went backpacking in Blackpool, you know, so it was left to me, you know, to take over the reins, you know, which I did, you know.
It was all over, you know, bar the shouting by 1970. Especially when I called round at Saul's house for a cup of sugar. And he said he didn't have any. When I'd seen him the night before in Tesco's buying a bag. So I just knew it was time to call it a day.
Well, I mean, you know, I just don't give a cup of sugar to anyone, you know.
Well, I've always had sweetness. But it was great fun, you know. It says here. Where's that chicken soup anyway?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. One rocking chair, two rocking chairs, three rocking chairs, four rocking chairs, five rocking chairs. Everybody go woody. Six rocking chairs. And a little bit booty. Seven rocking chairs. Get the weight of your shoulder. Eight rocking chairs. Well, Barr in a wheelchair. Nine rocking chairs. Well, Barr in a wheelchair. 10 rocking chairs. We're gonna have a good time. 11 rocking chairs. Woo-hoo. 12 rocking chairs. 13 rocking chairs.